lose heart. Your body might not be cooperating with you, and whose doesn't some days, many days of the week. Your body might not be cooperating with you, but you're being renewed inwardly every single day with every single thought, with every single breath. Focus on that, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to focus inward. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your yoga from home. We practice every single day live on Facebook and YouTube, and I'm glad you're joining me, and I'm glad you're letting me join you live, start to finish. It's real, baby. It's real. It's just like a real class. Today is a restorative practice. Thursdays and Sundays, we practice restorative yoga. You think, oh, what's that? It's just lying around. It's not going to do anything. Oh, yeah. We're going to focus inward. It's going to do a lot. And it's going to do a lot for your body. In a restorative practice, you hold the poses longer than other days of the week of our practice. You hold the poses longer, allowing you to kind of get out of your body, get out of your head, and just relax. Not only that, but it lengthens and strengthens your muscles. It allows you to relax deeper into a pose. So other days, other practices, you can be really extra stretchy and bendy if that's what you want. So there are a few poses today. I think we've got maybe 8 poses. It depends on how you count them. Be near a wall so you can do your legs up the wall. If you want, you don't have to be on a wall. I'll show you alternatives. But whatever you do, as the bottom of the screen says, do what is right for your body, your one and only unique body. It's yours, baby. Stick with it. You got it. Make it work, and just love on yourself a little bit. All right, so even if you can just take 10 minutes, and you can't do the whole hour because an hour seems like a long time. Even if you can just do 10 minutes, find the solitude on your mat, and you'll just be so much better off for it. It really, really makes a difference. Today, you could say maybe our focus is on our hips and our heart. You can do this. You can. It's the hardest practice of the week, I think, because you got to get out of your head. You got to stop those racing thoughts. The word to think about as you practice today is the word within. All right, so within means the inner part. Think of your heart, your mind, your soul, and just let the body rest and relax. All right, let's go. You're gonna need some props, and I got some extra props here today. The props that you'll definitely want to have: a couple blankets, or a blanket. Everybody's got blankets lying around the house. Maybe bring a couple of blankets to your practice, because the thing is, and I always say this, make it work for you. And maybe making it work for you, maybe you need 5 blankets. Grab them, do it. Play with this, make it work. Okay, so I've got a big thick bolster. I've got my other bolster. One that I have is filled with buckwheat. This is fiber fill. It's just a different feeling. So it's the holiday season. You know, maybe you're gonna start buying yoga props for yourself. Couple blocks, eye shade towel, and then these things. These are really interesting. These are sandbags. They're not really filled with sandbags. They're filled with little glass beads. But they're sandbags, and I don't know, maybe they weigh 5 pounds each, but they're really a neat way to enhance your practice. They're not very expensive, it's very clean, and it feels super, super good. And have your water, and let's go. All right, first pose we're gonna come into. First thing we're gonna do is think about a stress number. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you? Give it a number, and let's work on bringing that number down. It's so important. Stress is such a killer. We don't want it in our lives. Take a deep breath in. And a deep sigh and breath out. Let's come into pentacle pose. So you really don't need any props at all for this, unless you want to bring your eye shade. That feels good. Pentacles where you just let it go. So think of emptying out all your stress. You're going to open up and empty out. So take your time coming on down to your pentacle pose. You're going to send your legs wide, and you're going to bring your arms up overhead. Here is an option where if you had your sandbags, they feel so good on the hands. Come all the way down to reclined. You could place your sandbags on your forearms or your hands. I'm going to get them out of here. All right, lie down, open up, and just release, empty out. Just breathe, take some deep breaths in. Your body's in a capital letter X shape. If it doesn't feel good in the shoulders, bring your arms down a little bit like a snow angel. Whatever feels good. Breathe in, sigh it out, breathe it out. Maybe you've got the eyes covered. That's a great thing to do. We've done this before too, tensing up, squeezing the hands into fists, squeezing your toes toward the soles of your feet, feeling the tightness in your body travel up the arms, into the neck, up through the legs, into the core. Hold on tight, and just realize when you hold tension, it's difficult. Then let it go, release. Feel what it feels like to release, to empty it out. Now the same thing with thoughts in your mind. The hardest part. Let the thoughts go. Squeeze and release your hands, your body. Feel the tension even up your spine a few more times. Hold it. Feel where it goes. It goes everywhere. And then consciously release it and let it go. Think of it just drifting, floating away from you. Let go of the thoughts. They're going to try to invade your practice. As the thoughts come, acknowledge them, let them go. You'll remember what you need to remember later. But right here on your mat, just focus on your breath. Squeeze. And then relax deeper into your body, into your breath. Let it go. Slow down. Let go. And just be still. We're going to stay here for 3 minutes. I'll let you know when the 3 minutes is up. Just breathe. Just breathe. Take a deep breath in. And a deep, really emptying all the tension, all the worry, release breath out. Let everything go. Why hold on to that which doesn't serve you? Just let things go. If you want to stay here longer, go right ahead. I'm going to come out of Pentacle, bringing my arms down, my legs slowly back to the midline, and I'm going to go into a child's pose. So you decide, maybe Pentacle is what feels great today. I'm going to take a child's pose on the bolster. So find your bolster. Bring it vertically on your mat. Knees spread. Hips back to your heels. And now let's focus inward. Child's pose. Feel the comfort of your mat, feel sheltered, feel contained, feel protected as you just focus inward. You've let the outside world go. We're going to be here for 3 minutes also. Nestle on down to your bolster. Let the bolster support you. Put your arms wherever they feel good. Turn your head however feels comfortable. And don't you worry about a thing. You're in a safe place. Rest here. Close your eyes. Focus inward. That's all that matters. Your heartbeat, your breath. Let the outside world go. As you close your lips and start to breathe in and out of your nose, if that's comfortable and if that works for you. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. Just breathe deeply. Take your deep breath in and a deep breath out here. Your spine is long, spine is supported. This bolster's good and strong. It's holding you. You can stay here longer in your child's pose if this is speaking to you. I'm going to go into a supported fish pose on this bolster next. So if you want to join me, just, bring your head back to the midline if you had it turned, press on up. And here's the deal. You can take fish so many different ways. If you don't have a bolster, you could use a big pillow from your sofa. You could also use 2 yoga blocks. It's a little less comfortable for a restorative day, but you could place the blocks in the shape of a letter T, horizontal block, vertical block, with some space in between for your neck. You'd rest your head on the top block and placing the second block between your shoulders, your bottom on the ground. That's a way to do this pose. Another way to do this, grab your eye shade too, is on your bolster. Scoot your bottom up to the bolster. Maybe you grab your blanket or 2 or 5 or however many you want, or use your sandbags. I'll show you how to do that. Scoot your bottom up to the bolster, and you want your bottom on the ground. Recline on your bolster. Feels so nice. Cover your eyes with your eye shade. Maybe the blanket covers you up, or maybe you use your sandbags to cover your hands or to place them on your lap, on your hips. It feels really super nice. So what you want to do here is open up through the heart, through the chest. Big opening pose. Think of hugging that bolster or that yoga block between your shoulders on your backside. I'm going to set a rather lengthy 5-minute timer. It's going to go a little longer than that. But rest here. Palms face up if you feel receptive, or palms face down if you feel you need that protection, support of the earth. You know, what do you need today? Do you need to feel sheltered, or do you want to feel opened up? Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Be at peace and be comfortable. If you're not comfortable, adjust and get comfortable. Your legs can be long. Knees can be bent with the soles of your feet on your mat, or knees can be open wide with the soles of the feet touching. Find the variation that speaks to you. Try it. And if it doesn't work, don't feel bad about coming out of it. You know, adjust. That's the key. Adjust to what works for you. Deepen your breaths, and with big full inhales, feel your chest expand and rise up to the sky. And with big full exhales, imagine your belly button going back to touch your spine, and feel the softness there. Deepen your breath and feel the effects of the breath on your body. Shoulders soften as you exhale. Maybe the knees feel like they open even wider as you deepen your exhale. Inhale, chest lifts up. Feel strong. And then soften as you exhale. This is your supported fish pose. Maybe you decide to stay here even longer. It's such a great chest opening pose. It helps you feel like you can breathe better, and it just feels nice to open up your heart and just enjoy what you got. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Breathe. Now you can stay here longer. Stay here as long as you like. But I'm going to move on, and I'm going to bring my knees together. And I'm going to send my legs long. And I'm going to press on up, and I'm going to do shoelace pose. So I'm going to get into the hips. So work your way off of your bolster, maybe slide off to one side or the other, and then make your way back up to seated. All right, so shoelace is a big one for the hips, and this is your call. Maybe shoelace is a little too much, so here's something you could do. You could remember caterpillar. We've done that before. Legs are long on your mat. Place your bolster and or a couple of blankets on top of your bolster and hinge forward and rest here. Nice stretch for the low back. Pentacle or shoelace pose is pretty intense. So maybe you want to try it a little bit, or maybe you want to take it to its fullest expression. It's up to you. So I'm going to bend my left knee, and I'm going to bring my left heel back by my right outer hip crease. I'm going to bring the other leg on top of it, and I'm going to work that heel back toward the opposite hip crease. So my knees are kind of sort of stacked. You can lengthen up here. You can take a couple of blankets or your bolster and place them on your leg. You could do sandbags here too. You could do sandbags on the feet. It's just an option, just something to explore. Now what we're going to do is we're going to get into the hips. We're going to do about 3 minutes on each side. So if you're in your caterpillar pose, you got a nice 6 minutes coming up. Just get comfortable, relax, and let go. Same thing here. Got a blanket or two on my legs. Place my arms on it. As I inhale, I will lengthen through my spine. And as I exhale, I'll maybe hinge a little forward. So this is really intense in your backside. You decide how you like it, and you take it to the level that you wish to take it. Maybe bringing the head down toward your knees, or maybe even using the bolster and resting on it. So many options. I like to take a blanket or two, because then I can incrementally remove the blankets as this pose gets more comfortable. So do what feels good to you. Maybe unfold the blanket a little bit as time goes on, or remove it completely. Just take it to what feels good for you in your body. Soften in your jaws. Breathe deeply and find comfort within. Take a deep breath in and a deep, slow breath out. Let's come out of this pose and do a pentacle. Now, if you're in caterpillar, maybe you want to stay in that longer, or maybe you want to take a pentacle pose too. It's up to you. Everything's always up to you. I'm going to take a brief pentacle pose here. So come out of the pose, lie down, spread your legs wide, bring your arms up overhead, and breathe. Just think of sending breath to that hip. Let's get back to the other side. I'm going to bring my arms down, legs back together, press on up, have another side to do. So I'm going to do the opposite side. I'm going to bring my right heel to my left hip crease, left hip on top. Stack up your props however you like, and let's get into this side. Breathe in, breathe out, and enjoy. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, letting your navel go back to touch your spine. And then as you inhale, slowly float on up. Let's do pentacle again. Oh, it'll feel so good. Just the getting there feels really good in this pose. So come on out. Recline. Let go. Open up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Send the breath to your hips. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Float your arms down by your sides. Slowly press on up and find your 2 blocks. So we're going to do a wide-legged forward fold and feel supported in doing it. So spread your legs wide. Blocks in between your legs. Maybe a blanket or 2 or your bolster on top of your blocks. Whatever works. That's the ticket. And then hinge forward. Remember, your blocks have lots of height, so you can stack them up differently. You can stack up the blankets multiple times folded, whatever feels good. So pull your blocks in, rest here, close your eyes. We've just got 3 minutes here. As the time ticks on, maybe you decide to remove a blanket or whatever you've got stacked, changing the height of your blocks, whatever. Or maybe you decide to do absolutely nothing at all other than breathe and enjoy the pose. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, relaxing your belly button back to your spine, feeling the goodness in your low back. So here's the deal. You can stay here longer if this pose is speaking to you. Maybe today's the day you're really getting into it. Then stay here. You listen to your body. I'm going to come out of this pose and I'm almost ready for final Shavasana. And let me tell you what we're going to do so you can decide. I'm going to come into a supported bridge pose on the bolster. Then I'm going to take it to a legs up the wall, but I'm not going to move to the wall today. I'm going to do it just on the bolster. So I'm just kind of not a whole lot of movement. And then I'm going to go into final Shavasana. So it's up to you how you want to do this. I'm going to come out of this supported wide leg forward fold, remove the blocks. I'm going to bring my eye shade and towel up near my shoulders, because like I said, I'm not going to be moving much more. Blankets are going to be nearby too. But right now, I'm going to take my bolster. I'm going to come to recline on my mat. I'm going to send my hips up to the sky, and I'm going to put the bolster underneath my bottom. And I'm not going to so much worry about where it is. I'm going to just let it feel really super good. So my pelvis is lifted. You could place a blanket or the sandbags on your waist. That feels really, really good. I'm going to keep the soles of my feet on my mat. You could also take this pose on your block if you don't have your bolster. The bolster just feels really good and just comfortable, and that's how I want to take it today. You can cover your eyes with your eye shade here, arms down by your sides. Sandbags could be on your hands too. Breathe in, breathe out. Nestle in and be comfortable. If you would prefer to do this position on your blocks, we do that occasionally. We take our block and we place it under our low back, really, really low on the low back, so your lower vertebra can hang off of the block and you can decompress them. Maybe that is a little refinement that you want to do today. You'd rather do it on the blocks. It's up to you. Last little thing I'll mention, and then I'll be quiet. You could work your feet a little bit toward the edges of your mat and let your knees collapse inward for that collapsed bridge pose, kind of a restorative bridge pose. You decide what feels good for you today. Going to be here 3 minutes. Breathe, and I'll let you know when the time is up. deep breath in and a deep breath out. I'm going to do legs up the wall next. Now you can literally do it up the wall. To do that, just roll off your bolster, make your way to your wall, place one hip next to the wall in your seated position, lie down, and then send your legs up the wall. Work your body a little bit away from the wall so your legs aren't at a 90-degree angle. There's a little bit of a bend in them. Heels are on the wall, one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, or place your arms however feel comfortable for you. Cover your eyes with your eye shade, place your weights, your sandbags, or your blanket on your belly and cover your eyes. Easy way to take it for me today is I'm just going to bend my knees and send my legs straight up into the air. It is comfortable. You'd think, oh, suspending the legs, maybe that's going to be too stressful. It's comfortable, and it just kind of minimized the movement. I didn't have to make my way to the wall. It's comfortable here. So you decide which way you want to take it. And we'll be here for close to 5 minutes or longer if you like. Eyes covered. Be at peace. Same thing with your arms if your legs are on the bolster and your legs up the almost invisible wall, let's call it that. You could place a hand on a heart, a hand on the belly. You could tee out your arms. You could cactus your arms. You could have your arms down by your sides. The magic is happening in the legs and your breath. I'll let you know when the time is up. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. You have a choice. You have so many choices. Maybe you're still in your child's pose. Maybe you've decided to take that as your choice. Maybe you want to stay in your legs up the wall or your legs up the invisible wall. It's up to you. I'm going to come into a final Shavasana pose, but it's your call. Finishing up your practice in your legs up the wall pose is a great way to end your practice. You do what you are feeling is right for your unique body today. I'm going to come out of this pose. I'm going to bring my legs down. If you're on the wall, do the same thing. Bring your legs down, roll off of one hip, then the other. Slowly come on down. I'm going to remove this bolster. I'm going to press into my feet. Just going to scoot the bolster down, 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 because I'm going to use it underneath my knees. So I'm going to roll the bolster down. And again, your eye shade, your blankets, your weights, whatever feels good for you. I think I'm going to remove the bolster today. This bolster's a little thick. Going to send my legs down. I think I'll use the blocks. That's another option. Put the blocks at the bottom of the mat. Elevate the feet. A blanket or two, legs, waist, whatever. Eye shade to cover the eyes. And here's a use for your sandbags. They can be on your hips, wherever you want them to be. But that weight feels really, really super nice. So think about it. Maybe it's something you might want to add to your yoga tool chest. Arms down by your sides, eyes covered with your eye shade or your towel. Palms face up, pinky toes fall toward the edges of your mat. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Your final Shavasana pose. Coming into the end of your practice. Last pose, perhaps the most important pose, because it just kind of prepares you for going back into the world, the life off of your mat. But as of now, you're still here. Let's breathe deeply and enjoy the moment. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Soften in the throat and the shoulders away from the ears. Arms and legs are heavy. And your heart is light. Focus only on the breath, like waves of the ocean coming in and consistently going out. Just find your peace in this moment. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Your final Shavasana pose, such a great pose. Any of the poses you're in are great poses. Maybe you decide to stay longer. If you'd like to do that, hit the pause on your remote and just breathe and enjoy your time on your mat. If it is time for you to conclude your practice today, take a deep breath in, fill up, refresh, restore, and a deep breath out. Let things go. Remember how we started? We squeezed our hands into fists. We squeezed our toes towards our shins. Do that again. Feel the tension, but let it be manageable now. You've got it. You feel strong and tense and tight. Now release it. You know how to release it. Let it go and live like this. Let the tension go. When you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high up overhead. Take a big good morning stretch. Exhale, roll onto one side or the other. Just let your props fall where they may. In your fetal position, bend your low arm. Use that bicep as a pillow for your head and just rest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Slowly make your way on up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe you keep your blanket on your lap. Maybe that feels good. Or maybe I'm going to get you hooked on sandbags. Place those on your hips. Hands to purse center, lengthen up through your spine. Take a deep breath in. And a deep, slow breath out. Gently blink your eyes open. You did it. You did it. You took care of your one and only body. Your one and only body. Don't fight it. Live with it. Nourish it. Refresh it. Take care of it. Your body will cooperate if you give it time and you give it space and you give it your yoga. All right. How are you doing? What was your stress number? Now what is your stress number? It's really come down, hasn't it? And it feels really good. And think about those sandbag things. I'll post them in our group, Friends of 316 Yoga. You can see what they are, and I'll post the little glass beads in there too. And they just feel so good. It's like the comfort of a weighted blanket. Try it on for size. You might like it. From us to you, have a great day. See you on your mats tomorrow. Namaste. Love you. Bye. Hi. I love